colonist has died. A colonist has died. Funding received. A colonist has died. Funding received. Funding received. Funding received. Funding received. We have a delivery on the space elevator. Funding received. Funding received. Research complete. A call. Resources are low. Resources are low. Funding received. Funding received. Funding received. Funding received. A colonist has died. Funding received. We have a delivery on the space elevator. A colonist has died. Resources are low. Funding received. Funding received. A colonist has died. Funding received. Crop failure reported.
Our factories have begun eating up a lot of electricity. Short investigation of the matter is real data. Renegade insurers actively been sabotaging repair attempts to some maintenance of these factories. All factories closed for repairs? Y'all, we're gonna just try to end the game right now. That's what that sounds like to me. Okay. Even without me making it high priority, 21%. Our workshops. So I feel pretty good that we're going to be able to get this up to 40.
A colonist has died.
Yeah, we also lost a ton of colonists when this closed. So they did recognize that. It is horrifyingly less than ideal that microbe got out of hands. That was the art workshop. Hopefully, we're going to see that number hit 40, since it was at 20 something. It was mid priority. All I have to do is hit 40 and we're done. Effectively 100% of the game as it does it. And since all the factories are closed anyway, people should be scrambling for jobs.
Funding received.
There it is.
Funding received.
Rocking any moment now.
Research complete.
There we go.
Milestone achieved.
Dream fulfilled. In the beginning, it was a dream. In the beginning, it was just a dream. Setting foot on another planet, surviving it, building a new future for humanity. Through devotion and sacrifice of our colonists and your vision and leadership, Commander, the dream has come true. Thanks to you, humanity has a new future, a new path to follow. And with that, we've won. We completed our milestones. We have nothing left to explore on the planet itself. We've completed our mission. Which dome? Oh, the new one. I think this is directly in the way.
A colonist has died.
That's okay.
Funding received.
Yeah, this dome has been broken maybe the entire time.
Meteor incoming. Funding received.
And genuinely, I'm not sure what we're supposed to do about it. That will do it. This was just empty. There were no drones in it. But yeah, so marks our first completed colony. And now with this completed, I'd feel much more comfortable actually entering Mars Relaunched. But of course, if you made it to this part of the video, exciting news. Some changes planned for the future. It's going to reduce the game volume a little bit. So the intended next module is going to be No Man's Sky, but with Surviving Mars Relaunched being relaunched, I kind of wanted to keep the momentum and play the new Surviving Mars. Now that we've kind of completed the game, seen a lot of the systems. So I think what will ultimately be the course of action is I'm going to try and do a weekend stream of Surviving Mars Relaunched, and from that weekend stream I will create a handful of probably shorter videos that will be in the spots that typically extracurriculars are, which are the days between our regular uploads. And then I'll still play No Man's Sky as our main kind of longer format video series. So of course this is a bit more of a load for me, but I do think there were a lot of very important
Funding
lessons we
received.
learned through Surviving Mars, and I think the expansion will let us see some of the more niche or kind of unique aspects to the space architecture, especially space urban planning that is Surviving Mars. We learned a lot of things, including properly balancing these stats as we got further and further along with the domes, and that ultimately it's kind of better to have domes with less people, or rather more people, less jobs or services, because throughout the majority of our early game we had a lot of vacant job slots, but nowhere near enough people to fill them. So I think we're going to try to pivot to having a bit more of a balance rather than me spamming services. Because on paper it makes sense. You want to have everything you need to get production going. But ultimately, the amount of production you need is based on how many people you have. So, long story short, I think it's going to be a little bit more of a patient playthrough. But there's also a lot more things. I already know that there's, transportation infrastructure is going to be part of the next game. I think pets are part of it. I don't think pets will be a big mechanical push for us, but and then of course there's all the new features of just being effectively a sequel game, along with overdated graphics. For a 2018 game, though, these graphics are great in my opinion. It's very SimCity. I don't do it often because of the fast forward ability of these videos, but especially because the game's fast forward too. But there are models for the colonists. I'm like, ooh, this guy's not dead, is he? Okay. Anyway, every aspect of the game is so meticulously detailed that the buildings that we were popping down kind of en masse have this much detail to them. Of course, zooming in this much, you get to see the texture a little bit, but yeah, like, people do interact with these buildings. They do, go to the grocery store and they pick out food. So yeah, it's something that I hope to do more. Ooh, okay, who did I just stumble into in here? No way. Oh, this is the infirmary. Let's just say for a moment. But yeah, the amount of detail is crazy. That's an office. This is someone being, looked after. The infirm, one could say, being treated to and provide medical attention. I wonder if we can go into the apartments. I'd be thoroughly surprised. The controls aren't necessarily built for this amount of zoom, but try. Yeah, to be fair, again, that's the amount of zoom we can do in this game, so I'm not surprised that we can't zoom all the way into the apartments, especially the parts that aren't visible. But the exteriors are beautiful. People do interact with them properly. They don't just kind of stand near the furniture. So yeah, this game, especially being our first kind of simulation software, it's incredibly well done. And I'm thankful for the opportunity to play it, but I say as if I didn't pay full price for it, but hashtag not spawn. But yeah, this game was a lot of fun to go through, a lot of fun to play. We can even name the buildings, that's cute. Might as well. So this, I will also say, this form of bracing for the dome is a little bit closer to the stuff that I see when working with domes. Because ultimately, these stones look beautiful. There would have to be some form of inflated, polystyrene, polyvinyl, poly something sheathing. But I feel like this, you can see the kind of mullions the structural ribs, along with the kind of supporting membranes in between them, the cords,
Funding received.
and ultimately the panel system. Because when it comes to like punctures, having these kind of tensioning elements, assuming this is the polyscan again, allows the puncture to hit it and just kind of pop this panel rather than popping the entire thing like a balloon. I also just like the star that forms when you tessellate like this. I think that shape personally is really cool to me. Oh wait, I think, yeah, maybe it's a trick of the light, but it looks like each panel is actually triangular. This isn't just like a flat texture applied to it. You can kind of see it in the edges, how they peek up, and the light hits each one a little differently. That's a cool detail. Does that happen? Okay. I think that might be my mouse being a problem, but I sometimes drag click. That's what that looks like. Yeah, no. The texture is fully different. That's cool. You personally, Henderson 1, I don't think deserve that energy, but what I will say though is I believe our first dome was Henderson 1. I mean, it's gonna be a little tricky to tell, so I don't know if they're in order of when they began. Oh, they might be. Maybe not. I remember Angel 1, but I don't remember it being our very first dome. Honestly, what was our first dome? Was it Henderson 1? Henderson 1 sounds like it was definitely at least an early dome. Wowie, wowie, wowie. I feel like I would remember if it was. But, I mean, there's definitely one way to find out. Again, ultimately, domes aren't like the very first thing you put down. That's a lie. I feel like it's quite an early thing that I put down for this run. Because again, when we were playing this run, I kind of knew that we were going to be balls to the walls. Oh my gosh. So I just watched the old footage. Henderson 1, I think, actually is our first dome. That is a crazy coincidence. Because I just picked a dome and zoomed in on it. Because we landed our first rocket. It's like right over here-ish. Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah, and that's our... Henderson 1 really was our first dome. Okay, well, we have to make it fancy then. I'm not here saying it doesn't deserve it. It's literally where we all started. Still has the water reclamation tower. Is it purely residential? I think it is. I don't think there's any... Well, there's a couple of disabled work slots, but it's just like the foodstuffs. Wow. That's where it all began. I'm trying to get a good angle in here. I didn't realize the spacebar had... Wait, that's so cool. After, what, 100 hours in this game, it feels like I'm only just now looking at the buildings architecturally. This is the vertical farming hydroponic station, which makes sense. I think it honestly might even change depending on the plants being grown, which is a nice detail. Because I noticed that the farms were different colors when I was all the way zoomed out. These are, oh, they're conveyor belts. Who works here? Let's pick someone and just have camera follow them. What are y'all's jobs? Oh, y'all are non-specialized. Let's pick an engineer, maybe.
Funding received.
Okay, well, you're wearing engineer stuff. Okay. You won't let me pick the visitors, just the people working it. Okay. I can do this the old-fashioned way. I believe it's you. Where is he? There you are. Let's go back to following around Does it show that age? Probably doesn't. Could follow around the, you're one of the robo? Yeah, bio-robots, Martian born, because of course. Or we could try to follow one of the oldest people here. I mean, at this point, most of them are Martian born, but... I don't know if it's an age order. What's Kirk doing? Let's follow Kirk. Ooh. Oh, you work at the polymer factory? Okay, well. I mean, thank you for your service. It's not as much fun to look at. Let's follow one more person. And then I think I'll end the video. But the Henderson one. What are y'all's jobs, y'all? Oh, you're an officer? Let's see what Doris does. Doris is currently there. Ooh, Doris is going to a different dome to go to work. Wait, you can see inside? Oh, that's so cool. Oh, shoot. No, I wanted to keep following Doris. Should I have pinned her? Is that okay?
Funding received.
Oh, gee, liquors. Okay. Let me zoom out, zoom back in. Henderson was further north from this. It's right here. Should we follow one of the youngins? So many people are non-specialized. Why does she wear a black outfit? Is it because she's a bio-robot? That feels kind of mean. I'm gonna honestly, pin her. And then we'll follow her around for a little bit to end out the game. yeah, thank you again, everyone, for joining this journey. Um, a lot of fun lessons learned. I'll probably do some form of recap during,
Funding received.
or a voiceover during when we play Surviving Mars Relaunched. But until then, let's enjoy our time with Doris a little bit. We're exploring a little bit more intimately our first dome now that we're kind of at the end of this colony. Right back to the space bar with Doris. Even though she's a biorobot, she sure enjoys a little afternoon pick me up, late morning pick me up, happy hour. It's hard to tell. Ooh, that was kind of terrifying to do. But yeah. I'll follow her around until the sun sets. Maybe a little longer. It's fun that she works in a different dome.
Research complete.
She's finished her shift. I think the sun set. That'd be nighttime. Yeah, she just went to the apartment. Okay. Oh, wait. You can see in the apartments. Not all of them, but some of them.
Funding received.
The attention to detail in this game. Holy. Yeah, even just being able to see one kind of module of the apartments is really cool. They're nothing crazy. I mean, they are the apartments. They're intentionally like dense, residential, but the desk and the window, I mean, specifically who we're looking at, who we're eavespeeping, has just a view of, what is this, the research? Yeah, I believe that was a research building. Ooh, Doris is now grocery shopping. How fun. I thought that said fat healthy. It says eat healthy, because that makes more
Funding
sense.
received.
So that's how English works. I assume she'll go back to work at some point. Yep. There she goes. Let's follow around the guru, since they're our currently only living celebrity. What even does guru mean? I just kind of accepted it as facts and then moved on. There we go. Randomly spread other traits of this colonist person. Ooh, that's cool. Let's see what Myra's up to. The diner's kind of, oh wow. The views on this diner. Okay, well, they're at least exterior views. It is just a view of that. White coat. Is she a researcher? There's no way she's a tourist. Oh, she lives in the Olympus. Maybe she is a tourist. Oh. This is the research dome. These are all research buildings, and that's the Hawking Institute. Okay, so I think she's a researcher. Part of our scientist wave. Okay, now she's just walking around aimlessly a little bit. she's really just kind of doing laps. That explains why no one likes that dome, I'll tell you what. She just goes to a whole different dome to get lunch. Where's the shadows? There's no compass though, so I don't know exactly. I'm imagining south as if that means anything. Okay.
Funding
Oh,
received.
she's getting breakfast. Shadows are shrinking, which means they're going further ahead. Okay, she's just getting breakfast, lunch. Because it's now high noon. Yeah, so she was getting breakfast. And there she is doing research.
A colonist has died.
Cool stuff. Maybe next game, or next game, in the sequel series in our new colony, on the new relaunched game sequel, maybe we'll start by following around some colonists. Because I didn't realize how much detail there was. And this is, again, 2018. This is the first game. The next game, to my knowledge, will have at least this much going on. So until then, thank you all so much for joining us for effectively the end of Module 1. I'll have a recap, probably voiceover, as part of, if not in, the next sequel game. That video, I can't promise how soon it'll come up, but yeah, we'll go over the recap. And yeah, next long form will be Module 2, which I have a little bit of an idea of the curricula. It's going to be a little bit more exploration focused, a little bit more ecology, site contexty. Because of course there's a lot of context things that happen
Funding
here,
received.
but the core of this was really understanding space architecture in the sense of how is it different than Earth architecture, what are the different considerations, how pressure differences on Mars lead to a lot of the different innovations we're seeing here, and also the temperature differences. We had an ice age in this
A
game.
colonist has died.
Funnily enough, I think we're kind of close to a year on Mars. Now that I say it out loud, I don't think so. But 388 is definitely not bad.
Funding received.
Yeah, 668. Okay, so we pretty much hit half a year. Dang. 12-ish Earth months.
Crop failure
What?
reported.
6-ish Earth months to do this. There are a lot of domes now that I'm seeing them all. Still a disparaging amount of homelessness, but hopefully they're able to start moving back into this dome. It's a little tricky. I feel like they don't. Oh, because renegades. Yeah, I really just kind of let renegades do whatever they want to do. But hopefully they know to find a home. Like, we have homes. You can live here. I wish I could just control click all of them and say move to sector I3. But yeah. This is like the third time I'm ending the video. It's actually over now. Thank you all so much for joining. Next time I see you will either be an extracurricular, the Module 1 recap, extending into effectively our playthrough of Serving Mars, as our Module 1 refreshers each week-ish again, I'll have the VOD the stream each weekend. And then I'll break up the VOD from those streams to help supplement the extracurriculars so that we get a little bit of a fuller schedule. And Module 2 will be hopping right into No Man's Sky, which is definitely going to be a lot more
A
active
colonist
again.
has died.
So they're probably going to be shorter recording sessions, since with this game I can very much just put it on and do other
Funding
things. But yeah, if you're part of the stream, feel free to continue watching. As I've done before, I'm going to save the game, and then for the stream I'm just going to let the game run. Whenever a pop-up comes up, I'll click out of it and we'll just see kind of what happens. There's a photo mode? Okay, but we're done though. Oop, I learned how to spell. Travel Plan to Season 2. It's soul 389? Nope. Yeah, 389. We played 100 souls in this session.